job ain't finished. The job ain't finished. Make sure you come ready to go this next week.
How about those?
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar podcast, presented by Chiefs Blitz and sponsored by Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Group. If you're looking for a real estate expert, call Eric Haynes today at 816-729-3785. That's 816-729-3785. Now here is your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
Welcome back to the next edition of Four Guys in a Bar, presented by ChiefsBlitz.com, your one-stop shop for all your Chiefs news. I am your host, Nick Athan, joined by Mr. Hense Todd, producer extraordinaire, and my partner in this maddening venture we started over a year ago. You can check out his podcast with Coach Dre every Saturday, 1 o'clock Central Time. You can find it on your YouTube podcast viewing pleasure. And before we get started on the show and we talk about that amazing, incredible victory of the Chiefs last night, let's talk about first my good friend, Mr. Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Group. If you're looking for somebody who can help you buy or sell a house in the greater Kansas City area, Eric Haynes is the guy. He took care of my wife, Emily, and I. It took a 9-month process. He made it easy. He answered every question, and that's what you want. And he also knows this stuff. So if you want someone who can help you navigate that, waters, and making sure you get the right house, give him a call. He's a good dude. He's a big Chiefs fan, and I think he's going to be on the show next week, so I'm pretty excited about that. Mr. Eric Haynes, 816-729-3785. You can email him at esaleskfc@gmail.com.
Proud sponsor of Chief Who?
And another proud sponsor for me, anyway, is my amazing and incredible wife, Emily Athan. If you're looking for health coverage option, if you're in a plan that restricts you to the county or the state that you live in and you're looking for a national plan, give her a call today at 913-215-9086. Whether you're an individual, self-employed, a business owner, family, maybe you're coming off a COBRA plan, give her a call today at a worst. Let her consult where you're at with your health coverage, and she'll make sure she finds the right option for you. So give her a call today at 913-215-9086.
Emily.
That's a weird thing about my own life, but yeah, Emily.
Emily. Hey, before we start the show off, man, can we say the Rubik's Cube was correct? You know, the cube was correct about Xavier Worthy. I said Xavier Worthy is going to have a heck of a game. Lou said, so you saying that Xavier Worthy is going to be the first rookie that leads the NFL in touchdowns? Hey, and what happened? The cube. When I touch the cube, it tells me everything. I'm winning.
The color still ain't fixed.
Can you tell me what I'm winning the lottery, please?
Yeah, please. If the cube's so dynamic, man, why the color ain't fixed? Give me a solid color, sir.
The cube is undefeated.
It's undefeated right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Undisputed champ.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, I want to introduce my other two cohorts, Mr. Lou Montagna.
Here we go. Let's go.
And Mr. Andre Tillman, Coach Dre.
What's that?
Gentlemen, great to have you with us. It's going to be a fun show. Yeah. Obviously, it was a great game last night, but I think the game after was much more fun than the game itself. Right. At times, was all the bitching and whining from the babies from the Ravens. Oh, my goodness.
Eat crow. That's
easy there, Nick.
Yeah. No, that's not but excitement from the kingdom, man. Let it out, Nick. Let it out, man. Let out the PB.
We'll talk about it in the show. There were 2 or 3 comments made last night that just floored me. But
I ain't gonna lie to you, but the game was exciting though. It was exciting.
No, the game was exciting. Never a doubt in my mind. I never thought they were going to lose that football game. Never.
Now people looking at this game, correct, guys, is like, oh, this was a close game. It was never a close game. It was never the game was over. You know, it was a lot of key drops in the end zone.
Did you leave in the third quarter, Hense?
I'm just saying, you know, I mean, the game wasn't that.
You didn't notice they had the ball on the doorstep at the end, and there was like a toe that we were a toe away from.
It was a 12. It was a size 12.
Having to defend a 2-point conversion.
16, man. I might tell you have a
wouldn't have mattered.
Big toe.
Wouldn't have mattered.
12,
big toes likely. And you got to wear a size 10 like me. Like,
hey man, well, you can't run routes. You wear small feet. You can't run routes.
Here's what I think. Hence, what you want to say is this: is where a lot of people use this term with a cat playing with their food. That's kind of what the Chiefs do. You are correct in saying that it shouldn't have been a close game. They should have put them away, or they had plenty of opportunities to put the game away early, but they didn't. So it was a close game. They did have to defend every blade of grass right till the very last second. So that's the takeaway. That's really the takeaway, is that I think when they got their opportunities to really step on their necks, it didn't get done. So I mean, I'm not complaining. They won. That's great. But I think that's the piece where coaches can say, "Hey, we won the game, but there's a lot of things we can coach up and left out there."
Not to cut you off, Lou. Can we get the shot? Can we get the shout out to the guys that paint the sidelines? Can we give a shout out for them?
There we go. Yes.
They won the game. They won the game.
Perfectly executed straight line.
Perfect executed straight line. Maybe the game was too big for the Chiefs. Everybody's saying the Chiefs you know what I mean? The refs was in the Chiefs' pockets.
And Patrick gave the young guy a lesson. Next time, wear white shoes.
Yeah, he should have done that. So that means the league is going to have to do something about the end lines now.
But we got to give credit is due, gentlemen. Lamar Jackson did come out there. He did play solid to the end. He played solid. He did play solid. He played solid. He played solid, though.
He missed 2 wide open touchdowns.
He missed one, but he almost had one to almost tie the game, though.
No, he missed 3.
He missed 3, but at the same time, he came through. Is the tiptoe?
No. Here's what he did. Here's what he did.
He said, "Go cry in the tunnel."
Here's what he did.
Yeah,
he brought them to the brink of an opportunity to win, and in every case in his career, in a big game, what happened? He couldn't make the plays.
I get that. Well, man didn't fold, though. He didn't fold, though.
He did make the last play. I mean, that was a good throw to likely made a great play. Absolutely. I think the one that you're referring to, and is Zay Flowers. And again, I saw this, it happened actually earlier in the game in the red zone with Patrick and Travis, where I think Patrick fully expected Travis to keep running across the field. Travis thought he was going to sit down, and he barely misses them. They end up getting 3 points instead of 7.
Right.
Where Flowers, he was wide open in the back of the end zone. Lamar's like, hey, he's just going to post up. I'm going to throw it. This is going to be an easy touchdown. But Zay kept going. So they weren't on the same page. So is that because, Lamar wasn't there for the entire season program? I mean, we can make all the speculation we want. My thought is that he was taking a lot of hits, right? He played that game like he should have played the championship game.
Right. I agree. Right.
He will not be able to sustain this for an entire season. No way. Right. Yeah. You won't see him play that hard the rest of the season. Now, it may be that hard, but he's not going to take off and run as often as he did. He wanted to win that game so badly. Right. And he, by far, I mean, it was almost like Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl. I mean, he was probably the best player on the field. But again, if you're a quarterback and you're doing everything, that leads to, when you do get that easy throw, maybe then you do miss it because you're just so beat up and tired from running that, you lose concentration for a bit. But I thought he played a great game. It's not going to be sustainable, but hey, Chiefs,
you can tell he wanted it. You tell Lamar wanted it. You can tell he.
Oh my God, yeah! You see him yelling at the offensive lineman on the sidelines. He was all in.
Yeah, he was.
And they lost, which is has got to be really deflating.
Yeah, there was a good quote. I don't know, Hense, if you got that quote I sent you from Ryan Clark, but when you do, if you can put that up, I think he put the definitive touch on this thing. But I think before we get there, I think for me was, this is what Lamar Jackson does. And had this been a pocket quarterback, not only would Chris Jones have 4 or 5 sacks, you had running backs chipping, you had tight ends chipping at Chris Jones. George Karlaftis was kind of a no-show. Mike Dana didn't do much. I mean, FAU, he had a really big play and the recovered fumble.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I thought George was putting on a lot of good rushes.
Yeah.
He couldn't finish it.
They couldn't get to, and that's how I look at it.
You're trying to catch like a feral cat.
Yeah,
because he was there. And to Dre's point earlier is in terms of the defensive ends having to set that edge.
Mm-hmm.
You get to a point where, again, maybe you are a little tired. You start to lose concentration. And when you make that upfield rush, all of a sudden you try to turn inside. And next thing you know, Lamar gets to the outside, and now you're done. You're never going to catch him. And Leo is, I mean, he played a
Chanel played awesome. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of positives to take from this game, and there's a lot of correctable stuff, a lot of things that they have to clean up because, again, those opportunities don't come. I talked about the keys to the game beforehand, and one of the things was red zone, 7s, not 3s, and on a couple occasions, whether it was holding penalties, drop passes, whatever, they just couldn't get those, those conversions. But Pops, did kind of get going, and they did tackle well, I thought. Anybody else that was now, again, they missed the play to likely, I think everybody was gassed at that point because they played so many plays.
That's the Lamar Jackson effect, though. That's the Lamar Jackson effect. You
don't play that many snaps in preseason, so the conditioning isn't, where it's going to be in the next few weeks. So, a lot of positives to take away from it. Would never say that this was, the Chiefs played so horribly, but to reply to Isaiah Likely, well, if they played their not so best game, this for sure was not the Chiefs' best game either. So it's the first game for everybody. There's going to be some hiccups. So, but it was great.
I think this game showed
highly entertaining.
Yeah,
it was entertaining. Very entertaining. Yeah,
it showed me that a lot of these guys that didn't play in the last preseason game, and a lot of these guys who were nursing injuries, they got baptism under fire. I mean, that's the best running quarterback in the National Football League. That's a guy that you're going to constantly have to chase. Now, I thought there was enough good things the defense did that showed me that, hey, in a pocket passing situation, and a guy who isn't as mobile, I think they have a chance to dominate. But Lamar is unique. He is special. He's just not a guy that's going to win you a AFC Championship game or a Super Bowl, because that style of football doesn't work in the postseason. And it's great for this, as you said, Andre, he's about stats. You've talked about this before. He likes the statistics. He was the best player on the field last night in regards to the best hold on. In regards to yardage.
Right.
But, he made some really good plays and some plays to keep them close.
Right.
But, it doesn't matter. It's about your last play with a game on the line.
Again, he hit the touchdown pass at the end of the game.
He did.
I'm not going there in the least. He made every play he could possibly make, and he actually had his team in a position to win. They made the play, Nick. The guy's toe was out of bounds by this much.
It's still an incomplete pass.
But a toenail, man.
Yes, I agree with you. They still lost, but I don't think you can look at that game and say that Lamar isn't going to be able to do this or isn't going to be able to do that. Again, I'll stand on this as long as I live. A lot of these guys are just unfortunate that they're playing in the same era as Superman, the Unicorn, whatever you want to call him. But Patrick just finds a way.
You know what, guys? Y'all are absolutely correct. Like, I get it. Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. He showed out. Mahomes did his thing. I get that. But y'all know who my guy is, though. But, I'm just saying, man, that's the Peyton Manning versus Brady. You know what I'm saying? So
we ain't about to do this.
Whatever. You know what time it is.
We got to talk about it soon.
It's coming up. It's coming up, gentlemen. It's coming up, gentlemen.
Before we get into that, like everybody was saying about this kid, they said he was small and everything else. But like Tyreek Hill said, the boy was rolling. Oh my God. Like the cameraman come and keep up with him.
That's great.
Glass in the air. With the guy, he's on the sideline drinking his water from the
Space Jam juice.
Space Jam juice. He's over here getting the
That's the turbo fuel, man.
It got a special bottle.
That's
The
right.
special
man.
bottom. The kid was out there getting
Yeah,
it.
man.
Hey,
I get prosperous at man. Yeah.
you guys too, man. Like even the Rasheed Rice was out there balling.
Yeah, he was.
You know what I mean? So let's hear what the lead had. Let me see. Make sure.
Look what you did, you
Hold
little
on, I get
jerk.
it there correctly. Hold on.
It's
But
all
again,
right.
looking at the what happened over the lead, you know what I mean, the Bengals and the Buffalo Bills. But the Buffalo Bills, you know what I mean, they gave Chiefs, they gave Chiefs the initiative.
We are all about the hard left turns. I mean, what?
Yeah.
What?
I
Buffalo?
thought you said the hard leftovers. I said, hey,
I try to get to the the Buffalo Bills gave the Chiefs that Patrick Mahomes, and they get Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
And this is what the lead is saying about Buffalo Bills.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
There you go. Oh, hey, there's Joe, little Joe.
That's the whole league.
That's the whole league. Looking at the
Look what you did, you
looking at
little
the
jerk.
Buffalo Bills. They looking at the Buffalo Bills right now. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Y'all gave him Patrick Mahomes. Now y'all gave him Xavier Worthy. And y'all gave him not even mention the punter was having a good night last night too.
Matt Araiza had a great night.
Did he?
Yeah, he had a good. Yeah, so
I thought he was a little too juiced. He hit like 2 punts, maybe 5 or 10 yards a little further than
Hey,
he probably
It was
everybody
his
can't
first
drink one
game
of
in
these
2
juice.
years, so
Everybody can't drink one of these
Well,
juice.
that's
man,
exactly my point. I mean, you guys
your
are saying
role
he had
for-
this great game. I don't know that he had a great game. I think he was a little amped and kicked, a couple of those. He kicked punts a little too far.
He was on that juice.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, I mean, the adrenaline's pumping. Of course, he's going to boom. He can kick the ball like 80 yards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without
it's
even
scary.
batting an eye.
So-
He's
so
got
let me-
He could throw it 50 yards
Yeah, you
too.
can. So
He's
let me
got to
ask
be
you
able
this.
to dial it down a bit.
So as from week 1, how do y'all feel about the Chiefs secondary? Like, what's y'all thoughts on the secondary?
it wasn't secondaries for me. It was I feel like it was matchup problems with Spags. Could have just took the linebackers out, you know what I mean? Because the linebackers had a bad night yesterday. Do we all agree? Nick Bolton, Drew Tranquillo, except Leo Chanel.
Leo was great. The other two
Leo
didn't play that
Chanel
well.
was good. Right. I get that.
But
they had their issues in coverage for sure.
Mhm.
And like we were talking before the show, I think, I mean, obviously you're going to game plan specifically for a team. Obviously, every team that plays the Chiefs wants to get Nick Bolton singled up in coverage.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's up to Spags
Yeah.
to figure out, well, how are you going to hide this guy? Do you just going to take him off the field? So these are the questions that come up when you're talking about Brett Veach and an extension. Is that where we want to put our money?
Yeah, well, I got an update on that too. So
all right, come on, Skillet.
So I don't know they had a bank, but in terms of the defensive backs, I thought they righted themselves pretty well. I mean, there was a couple plays that they'd like to have back, but I thought the safeties played. I mean, Justin Reed.
That was one of his best games.
Now, Justin Reed balled. Like as far as the safeties go, Justin Reed played phenomenal.
His game against Baltimore in the championship game was probably his best game, but he played really well. Cook played really well. I thought the corners. I mean, Trent got beat on one play, but everybody's going to get beat at one point.
You saying Cook was playing well last night?
I thought so. Yeah.
Oh man, nah, we won't watch the same tape. I don't know about
that. No, he had his moment. Listen, when you got a quarterback who's scrambling for 8 or 9 seconds,
that Hicks didn't play.
Yeah, and Hicks should have played last. There's no excuse for not playing Hicks yesterday.
He should have been playing.
So Ruben said Connor. So what y'all thoughts about Connor though? What y'all thoughts about Connor?
Shamari?
Yeah, Connor.
He missed an interception, but I mean, other than that, I thought he played well.
He was good. He was probably he and Watson were their best cover guys on the night. And listen, to their defense, Jackson's out there, scrambling and running around and taking a 2 or 3 second play and extending it to 6, 7, 8 seconds. You can't cover that long. It's impossible. And again, the Chiefs. I think Spags' scheme was to get Leo to kind of be that shadow guy, but there were opportunities for Leo too to kind of step in and get up there a little bit faster. But he made enough plays to where at least the Ravens were aware of what he was trying to do. But, I mean, the Watson, the pass interference penalty, that was big. That contributed to 7 points.
Yeah.
But I think it's hard to really judge the success of the corners last night because of the fact that they had a quarterback who was just extending one play after another, and they couldn't really find anything to settle down in and get into any kind of defensive rhythm in the secondary outside of the safeties.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's no defensive call that accounts for that.
But Spags should have had safeties out there instead of linebackers, covering those tight ends in the backside of the backfield, in my opinion. Just to give them a better chance.
That's where the cat and mouse goes, because now if you put the safeties in, they're probably going to turn around and hand it to Derrick Henry, and they're going to,
he was nothing last night. Yeah.
No, Derrick Henry, he started strong. He started strong, and then
bigger guys on the field. But again, if now all of a sudden you're going to go small or go like 6 defensive backs, now it's going to be a lot easier to run it.
If they made the adjustment.
I'm going to trust the guy that comes up with the greatest defensive plans.
Yeah, no, he's pretty good. I would just personally would have done it different.
Now,
and plus they play from behind anyway. So
why didn't Jaden Hicks play? I don't know, but there must have been some reason. I mean, he was on special teams.
Yeah, Bo. Why did Hicks play, Bo?
It's just, it's one of those things.
Cook should not been out there.
I guess the Rubik's Cube was wrong on that one, player. Well, he didn't play. Hicks did not play, player.
Yeah.
I think he will play next week. You know what I mean?
Think so?
Oh, he's going to play.
Just,
I think it's worth a discussion to see what were Spag's thoughts there, because it seemed like, again, and this is case in point, that the preseason doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot. That he was making plays all over the field and whatever, and it comes to a game like this, and you think at some point in the rotation, because the corners were being rotated, but I'm pretty sure that Reed and Cooks played every snap.
I'm gonna say this. I think secondary did play well, because they wasn't like Lamar wasn't getting off really through the air. Only his target was Flowers and Likely to me was a start to me. But other than that, the corners did play decent.
One catch.
Yeah, they played decent. So
there's a big one.
There's a big one, but I give it to the secondary. Secondary did play well, but the biggest test is coming with next week. So that's what I'm really gonna break down the DBs. So other than that, I think
they may be missing 2 wide receivers, so I wouldn't be too excited.
You got JB back there. What you mean?
T. Higgins is hurt. He may not play this Sunday. And Chase spoke to the media for about 15 minutes today, and pretty much indicated that he's not sure he's going to play. He still wants his contract, and threw a salvo out there to ownership saying, hey, he wants way more than Justin Jefferson got. So he may not. Crazy, I think his ego will put him in the game in Kansas City just because he hates
Kansas City, right?
Or he's going to want to play for them in a year. But at the end of the day, I think the Bengals.
We don't need him.
Yeah. The Bengals have a lot riding on Sunday.
That's why we got JB. JB gonna show the world he doesn't need them type of receivers. All right, we're gonna show the world, man.
You know what his record is without those guys?
Hey,
below 500.
What you talking about, Nick? Talking about last year? Year before last? We're talking about now, Nick.
No.
Talking
without
about now,
with Boyd, Higgins, and Chase.
Okay.
Without one of the 3, he's a sub 500 quarterback. End of story. No more talking about it.
Joe Burrow.
Fact.
We'll see.
No cap.
Joe Burrow is going to outthrow Mahomes weekly. Brought to you by Dre with the big glaze hose today. Yes, I'm glazing JB, man, because JB is him. I'm a big sponsor of JB. Hey, hold on, bro. Hold on, bro.
Just jumping on you, man.
Hold on, bro.
Who is we, Dre? Who is we?
This dude funny. This dude, what the hell?
Listen.
I'm glad that's a
wait
different.
A second. That might have been the biggest croissant I've ever seen.
That's the biggest glaze bun.
I don't need to see it again, though.
Can you really take the whole thing in one bite?
I don't know what the hell that is. You got. I wouldn't even attempt that shit. Excuse my language, guys.
Those are only sold in France.
Damn.
Nobody ain't worrying about no back out, Joe.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. It's in your head, sir. But again, that's next week, guys. It's next week. I'm gonna be
Hensley. Tell us about your perspective on the sideline. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, this is the lead. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, looking at things, man. Nick Bolton shouldn't have been out there. I feel like he shouldn't have been out. Not on Nick already answered my question. For me. It should have been more safeties on the tight ends. once you start seeing Nick Bolton getting beat like that over and over again,
yeah.
Why not switch it up and put a safety out there? And because yesterday shows that he wasn't like really, even though Nick Bolton is a good linebacker,
right?
He wasn't really prepared for.
It showed his weakness.
He's another guy that missed time in camp too. So
I meant just the feel of this being on the sideline. I mean, we talk
Yeah,
about
so
the plays
what's your
and
sideline
strategy.
experience
I
like?
mean, you were there. What was the feel like? They
What
dropped
was the
and
feel,
you
the
banner,
vibe,
the B-1 bomber flying over.
Yeah,
I mean,
man, talk to me.
The vibe was good, man. It was okay. But other than
can you get any less specific? I mean, what the hell? I mean, I could say that. I wasn't there. I was 2,000 miles away.
Come on, Malt. Painted black and white. We need some color TV, man. How was the glazing on the sideline?
You was only one glazing Joe Burrow.
Hell yeah, that's Joe B. That's JB.
But other than that, man, I wasn't feeling that well.
Yeah, he was under the weather big time. We were talked all the game. I'm like, just do your best, man. Do your best.
He over there puking. Okay, we can't have that. You puking on the sidelines now. All right.
First game jitters,
man. The stage was too big for him. The stage was too big for him. That's what happened.
But other than that, man, Worthy is that fast, like everybody said he is.
No,
Maybe
he is.
probably the fastest person in the NFL right now. You know what I mean?
According to Next Gen Stats, he was 24.4 miles per hour on his 40 at the combine.
Mm-hmm.
He was on that run. He reached peak speed of like 18 and a half. So there's a lot more fuel in that tank.
You know, that's amazing because I've watched that play probably 50 times.
Right.
And just because it keeps popping up in my feed. And I watch it and I think, well, he's not moving that fast. And then you see Creed Humphrey was 16.9. It's incredible.
The thing that really got me was just like you said, the guys. But that was like a wall. He didn't get touched.
Did you see
He made like one move and that was it. So
they run that play from the 10-yard line. That's a 90-yard touchdown.
That's just pure speed. Not a concern, but what you really want to see is at some point, Xavier take a hit because he made it through that whole game. I don't know that he got tackled once. Right?
He did. When he came across the middle, a lot of people probably missed that one. He came across the middle, they lit his butt up. And I said, I called Coach. I said, now I'm gonna see if he gets up and comes back in the game, this kid is gonna stick around for a long time because he took that. I mean, he almost flipped. He came across that.
Question for all three of you guys.
Was that
when the Chiefs had the ball on the Ravens side of the field? It was the fourth quarter, and it was the play where P. Ryan swung out to the left and Patrick kind of missed him. I mean, that's probably a touchdown. You look down the pike there's nobody there. So you would have liked to seen him like maybe loft that a little bit, but he's thinking if I do that, maybe it gets picked. He doesn't see that there's nobody there. But my point is it's fourth down. If you're thinking, well, we're going to kick it, why not just go for it?
Yeah.
I mean, try to end the game right. I mean, Andy's normally pretty aggressive. I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, as far as that strategy, that was really the only question I had for him
on the P. Ryan play. Yeah, they contemplated doing the field goal, but I think it was like 58 yards. And
I'm saying go for it. I mean,
but I think I would have gone for it as well.
Yeah,
I'm with you because you still had a lead at that point. The defense was doing an admirable job at that point. They were gassed, but they were still playing hard. I mean, the thing that P. Ryan is, this is what I noticed. That this was the one flaw in his game. I mean, that lob pass, obviously the big play in the fourth quarter. Had he gotten that to Rice, that would have been an easy first down. The pass to P. Ryan, I mean, that was just a no-brainer, and it just simply he was in a hurry, but he wasn't in that much of a hurry that he couldn't have just thrown it up high and just said, "Hey, go under it."
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe he didn't see that he was.
I don't think he did
wide open because he put a little juice on it, and that
he put a little love on it.
Yeah. Also, the one that Isaiah Pacheco going down the sideline.
I seen that one. I definitely seen that one.
He was afraid of getting hit.
I think that one he had to put on him. But he just flat out dropped it.
He just so Mahomes made some miscues. He made some
on
miscues,
that play.
Guys.
Would you guys have gone for it?
I would have gone for it. Yeah, I would have gone for it.
Yeah,
I'm not. I want.
And the other problem was,
say, Bo? What you about to say, man?
Hold on, before you say it, let me say one more thing real quick. The problem that the biggest issue I had with the Chiefs' fourth quarter offense late in the game is they snapped the ball with 15 seconds to go or 13 seconds to go. They didn't let the play clock. They didn't milk the play clock all the way. And I think that was then it wouldn't have been a game. It really wouldn't have mattered.
Right.
That's on Patrick.
That's on Patrick. He has to look. Okay, I got to do this. I got to take 20. I got to take 20. Get it down to 3 or 4 seconds and snap.
Everybody's first game. So
So the more we talk about both quarterbacks had some issues last night. It was a good game. Both
so
sides.
Again, would you guys have gone for it?
Yes,
I would have went for it. Yeah.
I'm saying yes. Go for it.
Yes.
No.
You're saying no. Punt it. Yeah. Punt it away. And yeah, Joshua got down, but again, I think he was. I think Matt was so charged up that he was going to hit those like wedge shots like all year, where it like hits it like the 3 or 4 and it bounces back versus into the end zone. But you're on that side of the 50. You want to say analytics, whatever, but Andy's always been that guy. Let's be aggressive. Yeah. Let's get after it. Well, let's win the game.
Yeah.
And that kind of was strange. And then on the interception when Tucker missed the 50-yarder, and it was like, okay, just under 2 minutes, we get the second half kick. We can double up here and just basically put the game away. Mm-hmm. And that was probably the worst pass Patrick has thrown in a long time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, just eat it. It's not, you're in no hurry. You got plenty of time. You don't have to make
So listen.
He does hit a lot on Madden, though.
Sam says Rice was the guy. Sam said Rice over Worthy. Rice was the jewel last night. Sam, I got you. He said Rice was the man, Bo. He said Rice was the dog. Worthy got the touchdown, but Rice was the dog.
But as you look at the plays, guys, break it down. Somebody, if Worthy's taking away 3 guys going down the field with him, and that's going to leave everybody up underneath, open. So that's why you start seeing it, one-on-one.
A lot of eyes and like leaning towards 87 as well. I mean, he only had 3 catches for a reason. That was Rice just eating over the middle because there was nobody there.
Yeah,
it was like you're saying, why is there a linebacker on this receiver? What they isolated just about every time. Just about every one of Rashid's catches was where he was ISO'd on an inside player.
Yeah,
and Hollywood Brown's not even on the field yet.
Right.
So when Hollywood Brown come back, it's going to be more dangerous. And I do. Yes, Rice had a good game. He did his job, but also it all started from Worthy. If Worthy wasn't out there, the speed wasn't getting
Worthy, and I think Travis too.
He took 2 defensive players with him virtually every snap except for the touchdown in the fourth quarter where they had a missed assignment.
Do you know what's crazy about this offense though? Because like I said, everybody's so dynamic in this offense. Kelsey, Rice, Worthy, Brown comes back, and he got a good running game. So this offense is dynamic. The only way to stop this offense is to get to Mahomes, because we can break down the whole offense in a sense, but it's too potent. It's like who are you going to cover? Like, who are you going to cover? It's crazy, because it's a good argument from Rice and Worthy, because Rice is becoming probably one of the best route runners on the team. Probably is the best route runner on the team. So.
And the Ravens have a terrific defensive line. I mean, they lost 17 players from their team from the AFC Championship game, but their team, they had some big boys on that defensive line. And
that one guy?
They were getting pressure. Yeah, it was like 380 pounds.
Jabo. He came in the same year as Hutchinson from Michigan, but he was injured and then got hurt again. Yeah. So that's kind of like his first really action for the Ravens, and they're pretty high on him. And
he's a good player.
He was really good at Michigan.
Yeah.
So what Sam is saying is Rice is going to have a big year. You know what I mean? And I agree with him too, because he's gonna have a more bigger game, you know what I mean, when Hollywood Brown get out there too, and Worthy, you know what I mean, Rice, you know what I mean, looking at the stats and everything else, this guy was getting busy all across the,
78 yards after the catch, man.
Yeah, and defense dictated that. So, you'll have teams eventually, they'll try to shut him down, and then the other guys will eat. So, it all works hand in glove, and matchups make the game, and matchups make fights. And they chose to play a certain defense, and they kind of exploited it all night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of open spaces, and that's only going to get better.
It's going to get better for the Chiefs. Going to get worse for the opposing defense.
Yeah, if the Ravens can't shut them down defensively, even with all the change, I mean, like Hamilton just, I don't think we called his name. They called his name maybe 2 or 3 times.
Well, he was all over because you only really called Kelsey's name a few times. Yeah, right?
So I think
those guys kind of went together.
They kind of negated each other a little bit, but
you're gonna have to have a strong defense to stop Kansas City, a good pass rush, and some good seconds, some good DBs to stop Kansas City.
Miami just made Jalen Ramsey the highest paid cornerback in the league.
I've seen that
the second time.
This is stupid.
But speaking of contracts, Lou, what do you think about
I'm down Freeway?
Noah Gray getting his contract?
Hey, like I said earlier, I see it the way Veach sees it. This is an important player to this team. It's not everything is about statistics. They see the potential there, and eventually Travis is going to stop playing, and they wanted to give him 3 more years. Yeah. So that's I like him as I think he's really good. And when he gets his opportunities, now again, last night, I think he only got 3 targets, caught them all. So,
hey, real quick, guys, Chris Jones, again, the Lamar Jackson effect is real. But like you said, that was a pocket quarterback. Chris Jones would have had multiple sacks. Chris Jones was a stud last night.
He was also playing against a very young offensive line.
And he dominated as he should have.
At a certain point, he was trying to pick out which guy he wanted to go
against.
I seen
that. Yeah, I was looking at that.
Now you got to have, the versatility to be able to do that. Because he was lining up inside. He was
I'm trying to tell
lining up over the nose. He was lining up outside. Yeah. He was doing his best to get to Lamar, but at the end, I mean, he was just gassed. Everybody's got to be.
No, all those defensive excited, Lou. Lou, he was excited because there was so much opportunity on that offensive line. He was like, I'm gonna beat everybody. So I get it. Too excited, man. He got full fast. He got full fast. That's what it was. He got full fast.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, though, like we know what Chris Jones can do. Who's the other guys gonna step up on that D line, though? Like, it wasn't nobody.
They had guys step up last night. Wharton was great.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Wharton, nobody was talking about him, but he took 2 offensive linemen, threw him to the left. You know what I mean? He was playing a good game last night, and also number 97. You know what I mean?
What did he do?
You played well.
He played well.
He got 20% of the snaps. He recovered a fumble. He had a big tackle.
He dove in that fumble. Yeah,
he did. He said, "That's my ball. I'm gonna go get it."
Ball. That's the only thing he did. Hey, listen, I'm gonna say this, man. We need more effort from the guy. But the season just started, gentlemen. Season just started. I ain't gonna go too. I ain't gonna go harder.
20% of the defensive snaps, dude.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You're number 1 pick, man. You're number 1 pick player.
Some of the guys didn't even play. I don't think Cameron Thomas took any snaps.
No, Cameron didn't play.
So again, I mean, it's the first game. They came, some of these guys that came in late. I mean, Hendershot wasn't even active for the game, although he was active on the sideline in shorts.
Yeah,
he did get up in Queen's face, Roquan Smith's face after he took Patrick out. That was interesting over there. But hey, brand new guy, and he's taking up for the quarterback. You like to see that?
No, you love to see it. I mean, Hendershot gave him the shove, and Kathy mentioned this earlier in the show. For those that don't remember, Rakeem Smith just took Patrick Mahomes, hit him out of bounds. Rakeem Smith said he dove.
He pushed him.
He pushed him down, and our new man in street clothes, Mr. Andershot, shoved him in the back. And then after the game, Rakeem Smith said, "Well, I'm going to remember this." I'm like,
that's right.
First of all, you talk trash before the game. You talk trash after the game. And what the PFF grades came out today, he was the lowest rated player on the field last night. Lowest.
Stats
and he's sitting there bitching and moaning about that. And then you had the comments by Likely saying, well, if that's their best, good luck in the
I
playoffs.
think it just tells you how much
they're immature.
How much this game meant to them.
Yeah,
and
man,
how much
personal, man.
They put into it. So again, the biggest thing, because it's marathon, not a sprint. There's 16 more of these.
They didn't look at it that way.
Don't let
vegetables.
Don't let one loss turn into two. Now I think they play Dallas next week, so it's not going to be an easy one.
That's going to be a loss. They're going to lose.
We'll see.
No, they play the Raiders at home.
Oh,
and then they go to the Cowboys.
They play Dallas the next week.
And then they have the Cowboys and the Bills at home, and then at the Bengals. So the first 5 games,
they got some.
They're going to play four playoff teams.
Right.
It could be 0-4.
And after that, the schedule, honestly, for them is really relatively easy.
You can't say you don't know yet.
There really aren't that many difficult games after the first 5.
In the NFL, we don't know who's going to rise and who's going to fall.
I'm just saying on paper, but
I feel you.
I think for the Ravens,
those division games always
they're going to be tough.
This game was very important.
The Steelers or whatever. Those games in the AFC North are always a war.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Regardless,
I agree with Demetrio here. This was their Super Bowl. This was their chance to prove a statement.
I say this. Go ahead.
They spent 3 months when the schedule came out. This game came out in April. Then this was they worked the entire offseason for this one game to prove that last year was a fluke. And Lamar Jackson was a different quarterback. And they talked about how much weight he lost. They talked about this or that.
He played good though.
He played like he used to play. But he didn't beat, he's 1-5 against Patrick Mahomes. And in that one win, Clyde Edwards-Helaire fumbles, would have been a chip shot field goal for the Chiefs to win that football game. And that's it. So, or otherwise he'd have no wins. And, the Chiefs are in the Ravens' head, and they're in Jackson's head, and they're in Smith's head, and they're in Likely's head.
They're getting into Buffalo.
Yeah, they're like the Bills.
Hey, I mean, it's going to start being those things. If we keep playing them in the playoffs, it's just going to be the same thing. It's like, oh my God, we just can't. No matter what we do, we can't beat this team.
Yeah, but listen, guys, everybody in the North, we all know in the North, AFC North, who's the guy. We know who's the guy in the AFC North. He don't do none of this. He don't do all his antics. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, time out. He throws more glaze on the Bengals and Joe Burrow than he does his own beloved Arizona Cardinals.
Because I keep that behind me. I'm humbly confident. I'm humbly confident.
What's the fascination that you have? So why do you value Joe Burrow? Hold on, more than you do your little quarterback out in Arizona?
Come on, put his name on it, Kyler.
Murray, man. Listen though, I'm gonna tell you why. Because you know why? Because JB is a champion. Murray. JB is a champion, man. JB came from LSU, dominating college. Came over here, right? Everybody talking about he need weapons. He didn't come with Jamar. That's when he came in this first year. But listen though, if you look at his track record when he's healthy, he's phenomenal. He is phenomenal, man. He doesn't get shook. He don't get rattled. Absolutely. He is phenomenal, man. Like y'all talking about accuracy, you're talking about like focus, mental focus
on that back.
Like listen, though,
you're doing everything, but
focus is different, man.
Doing everything but answering the question.
What was the question?
Why more glaze on him than Kyler Murray?
Because honestly, push come to shove, if I had the opportunity to get JB, I'd get JB over Kyler because to me, JB is the better
over who?
Shots fired.
I think JB is a better. I think JB is a better quarterback than Kyler Murray. I do.
You turn away from the mic, man.
You're probably right, but
I'm just saying, for real, to be realistic, JB is a better quarterback than Kyler.
We wouldn't.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Blame you for being a little bit more partial to your own team. It's just a little weird.
I try to put them. I know what they're gonna do Sunday. I'm just making it known that I'm a JB fan, but. My guys play Sunday. Play y'all beloved.
I think you're on record. You're on record.
Yeah. JB, hey, this is JB's year, man.
I bet it is.
Man, who took this picture, man? Who took this picture, man?
That's a lot to take.
Who's taking all that?
Do you think that goes into like the back of his throat?
Who made this person get this picture with this big old piece of bread, bro?
It's Friday and the 4 guys in a bar. That's for sure.
God, Jesus,
oh my goodness!
Dre,
We run off the rails.
in the croissant, what type of filling do you prefer?
I don't even eat croissants, Lou.
Well, evidently, that's
I'm sorry if you're eating. There should be absolutely nothing in it.
Your mouth gotta be you different. You different.
Gotta be different, right?
Whoa, hey,
ain't that wait a minute? Ain't that old boy?
That's
RG3.
RG3.
This is now here's your hard left. And I never heard this line before, but evidently this was from Mike Holmgren talking about replay. Is that it's like you need 50 drunks in a bar to all agree on the call, and then it gets changed.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
All right, Kathy Welch is throwing it out to you, Andre.
Got you.
So will you shave or dye your hair if the Chiefs beat Burrow a week from Sunday?
Oh, there you go.
I don't understand that question.
Have you ever
You
gone
must dye
blonde?
your hair just like Joe Burrow.
I don't understand that question. I don't understand that.
So
I don't understand the question because
bet.
he's not losing. He's not losing. Like, what you mean?
All right, hold on. So Kathy,
if he does, will you dye your hair?
All right, Kathy, if you're listening. All right, here's the deal. We're gonna make this bet.
Kathy,
and I will
you have
support
to
you,
risk
Kathy,
something,
1,000%. If the Chiefs beat the Bengals, Andre's got to agree to dye his hair blonde,
like Joe Burrow.
Or even if it's just your mustache, so it's temporary.
Shake now listen.
Now, what will Kathy?
But what will Kathy do?
Right,
you got to put something.
Steve, got to put some stank on it. We got to put some stank on it, Kathy. Now, if my guy wins, what am I?
Maybe she has to wear a card. Maybe she has to wear a Bengals jersey.
Nah, it's got to be something a little bit more permanent. What color is your hair, Kathy? We'll see what color you need to dye your hair.
Talk about it, man. Talk about it.
We're having some fun here with it, Kathy. You let us know.
Hey, I'm with you, Kathy. We ain't have to be support nobody.
No, I got one. I got one for Kathy. No, if y'all lose, Nick, you gotta buy your Joe Burrow jersey and wear it on the show.
Hey,
wait a minute. Wait a minute. If I have to get a Joe Burrow jersey
and wear it on the show,
and what are you gonna do?
I shave my beard off. I'll shave my beard off.
That's not enough, dude. I shave my beard off every week.
Yeah, it'll grow back. Okay.
Yeah, it'll grow back. That's not enough of a poison. Man.
I want all his social medias changed to Patrick.
No.
Well, I will.
All right, we got plenty of time to come up with something, so we'll see.
Just know, God, that JB is going to outplay Mahomes. I'm just saying.
So with that said, what news do you have for us today, Nick?
All right, so I do have a little bit of breaking news. Hold on.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, Skillet.
Take it easy, Nick.
Sorry, get excited.
Slow your roll.
All right, I have been told that the Chiefs and All-Pro guard Trey Smith are nearing a deal. There's some cap ramifications. There's a few things that have to be worked out, but it's my understanding that the goal is to try and get him signed within the next week. And it looks like all parties have understood the goal and the plan. And this means the Chiefs basically, based on the way Kingsley Suamataia played last night, their offensive line is in good shape. And if they keep these guys long term, they've got Humphreys. They're going to get Trey Smith done. I think those are all good things to have. The Joe Thuney situation, I'm told there is a good chance he may restructure his contract to get another year or two out of Kansas City, which will help him. He's got a $28.5 million cap hit next year. So it's my understanding, based on what I was told, that the two sides are working very hard to get a deal done. And I would be shocked if it's not done within a week, maybe two, but I anticipate that Trey Smith's going to be a Chief for a very long time.
Yeah, if you're like a top 5 player at your position in the league, you got to bring him back, right? Especially offensive linemen.
That's right.
And that would be great.
So he played his ass off last night.
Yes, he did.
He battled some interior. I mean, again, that defensive line, the interior defensive line of the Ravens is really
he's that grit.
Ronnie Stanley got the Jawan Taylor treatment last night from the refs.
Well, you know what's interesting about that, Lou? They pointed Stanley out a lot last year like on social media and like, well, what about this?
Yeah.
What about this?
Oh,
what about this?
but they all do it. That's just it. And why they decided
rules.
it, because it was Juwan Taylor and because it was the Chiefs and everything else. But yeah, you watch Philadelphia's offensive line, you know, the guys on the ends, everybody lines up like that until the referees. Now, again, a good ref is going to just come walk into the huddle and say, guys, get up on the line of scrimmage. You need to be closer.
I would say Hockley's a good ref,
and see what they do. And if they don't, then you're going to keep throwing flags. But again, it's just like everything else. Like in the NBA or college basketball, there's points of emphasis. That's a point of emphasis, and they kind of went a little flag happy last night. So
what y'all thoughts on Juwan?
Nice to see somebody else getting that treatment.
So what y'all thoughts on Juwan Taylor, though? Do you still think he's still a good piece for this offensive line?
I think he is. You know, I think he got a bad rap last year. He struggled. He made a couple of penalties
last night. They did get him once.
Yeah, they got him a couple of times last night, but that was to balance out what they were doing on the Ravens side of the ball, and I get it. But you know, I think Mitchell Schwartz's brother, his name's escaping me. Jeff was out there and he posted, some Ravens fans were bitching and moaning about that. And he drew a little line across and said, see where his hip is, see where his feet are. Yeah. He's where he's supposed to be. Listen, the league, if the NFL really wants to fix this, then this is what they have to do. They have to completely revamp that rule and say, okay, all 5 offensive linemen need to be on the line together.
Right.
You know, but they haven't done it. They're doing this because they want the tackles to have a shot against pass rushes. So they allow them to kind of curve a little bit and to not have a straight line, but kind of a mini semicircle. And they all approve this change.
You got like the freakiest athletes in the world coming at you at 100 miles an hour.
I know. And this is why they did it.
And you're 320 pounds. They don't really look like those defensive ends. They need they're going to cheat as much as possible. And it's at a certain point, they'll stop calling it. But I think just to kind of appease the league early
just like
in
they
the
did
year,
last year,
you're just going to get flag after flag after flag. And it's
unless you're Willie Worth out there, Willie Worth don't need nobody. He can play up on the line.
I mean, Kingsley didn't need any help last night.
No, Kingsley held his own.
I was surprised.
Kingsley held his own.
Yeah. There weren't a lot of maybe he gave up 1 sack. He was impressive. For a rookie to be playing out there on an island, that was pretty good.
So who got tougher, a DB or a tackle? Which position is tougher as a rookie, a DB or playing left tackle?
Oh, left tackle by far.
Left tackle.
Yeah, because as a corner, your skill level, your athleticism is much closer to that wide receiver than the tackle is to that defensive edge, right? Whether it's an outside linebacker or defensive end, and it's like you're overmatched in a lot of cases athletically. Now you might be stronger or whatever, but it's that's a rough go. So all kudos to the kid for that. That's his first game.
Man, that's my highlight guy right there was him, man, on that tackle side, because you got to protect Mahomes. You got to protect Mahomes. Like on the other side of the ball, I got mixed reviews on Taylor, man. I was talking about Taylor last year. To me, if they can find somebody better, find somebody better. But
now this is the second year of his deal. There's nothing they could do till after year 3. So I mean,
Taylor is a guy.
I think he's going to be just fine.
What'd you say, Bo?
I like Taylor, so
I bet you do.
Honestly,
I bet you do.
But again, man, before we get into fact,
what does the cube say?
Right, where'd the cube say about Taylor? What the cube say? It's still confused.
Says Taylor's going to be in the Pro Bowl.
Look at him in the solid. No, guys, wait. Put that cube up again. Look at Taylor. Which part is Taylor? Which part is Taylor? Even the cube knows. Damn it! Even the cube knows, man.
Hey, before we get a Factor Cap, let's go ahead. We got Factor Cap today, correct?
We do.
All right.
So we get
special edition of Factor Cap.
All right. Before we get started, to some of the new people that are joining the show, appreciate all of you. 228 of you so far. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you have the opportunity to listen to us go crazy 3 times a week. And one guy who is not crazy and someone who's great at his craft, that'd be Mr. Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Group. If you're looking for somebody who can help you buy or sell a house in the greater Kansas City metropolitan area, this is your guy. He helped me and Emily find a house, and we've talked about the story long enough. At the end of the day, he was there for us every step of the way. So if you want someone who's going to make sure you get what you want when you're buying or selling a house, give him a call at 816-729-3785, or you can email him at esellskc@gmail.com.
Proud sponsor of Chief Who?
That is correct. Another proud sponsor is my amazing wife, Emily Athan, converted Pittsburgh Steelers fan to a Kansas City Chiefs fan when we met over 11 years ago today, or this month. Anyway, with that set aside, if you're looking for someone who can help you find a really good health insurance option, give her a call today at 913-215-9086. Whether you're an individual, self-employed, a business owner, part of a family, or maybe you're on a COBRA plan, if you just need some free advice, give her a call today. She'll help you navigate you through the waters of health coverage. It's an election year, a lot of changes. Short-term plans have been disbanded as of September 1. So you need to make sure you understand what plan you have and what options are out there to find a good one. So give her a call today at 913-215-9086.
Emily.
Nick loves Emily.
No question, guys. I'm a lucky stiff.
That's right.
Lucky
That's
man.
right. Emily is watching the show. You better say that. You better put
I'm a
some
lucky
stamp.
bloke, man.
That's
No
right.
question.
Yeah, hey, let's get right into fact and cap.
Here we go.
Break
Break up the bed, Hensley. It's that time. It's Friday. Factor Cap, gang. Like I said, this is a special edition. We've got a couple of the regular Factor Cap, but then I've got a handful of full season predictions that the guys are going to weigh in on. So let's start right here. We talked just about the entire off season about this dynamic kickoff, right? I get it. It was only one game, but the special teams coaches last night pretty much said, F it, we're just going to kick it through the end zone. So I'm sure, the competition committee, the commissioners watching this like, WTF. I mean, what is happening here? We wanted returns. So the statement is this: the competition committee will move the touchback to the 35-yard line instead of the 30 before week 4. Fact or cap?
I'll say cap, because I think they're gonna start seeing a little more returns. Because I feel like if the Chiefs kicked it to some of the guys last night, they would have like a shorter field advantage yesterday. But putting them at the 30 all the time, you can't have a powerful offense starting at the 30 all the time. So I'll say cap.
All right, Nick.
I'm going to say cap. I don't see it happening by week 4. I think they're going to give it a good at least half a year, but even then to change it at that point is going to be kind of tough. So I'm going to say cap.
I'm going to say cap. I'm going to agree with Bo. Really, I don't agree with Bo sometimes, but I'm going to go with Bo, man. I'm going to go with cap because the season just started. It just started. So, cap.
All right. A little overreaction, but hey, who knows? All right, here we go. So last night, everybody saw
yours, Luke.
A new I'm going to say cap, because I think the same thing is they are going to allow this thing to play out the entire year, because that's kind of was the intent, to do it for a year, and they're going to want a lot of numbers to analyze. Yes, and, obviously a few games isn't going to make a difference. But I think also as the weather gets worse in a lot of these games, the outdoor games, and you really sometimes the air and the low temperature of the ball doesn't allow you to boom it, they'll try placing it a little bit better. So hopefully it works out the way the league likes it. Okay, next one. Everybody saw the toe. Whole new meaning to the term or the phrase "toe the line," and because it was a national game and it was on NBC and everything else, they have the NBC it. They zoomed in so close. It was
right into the meat.
Clear could be. The statement is this: the NBC it will have made the biggest impact on the AFC playoff picture of anything this season. Hence,
I would say cap. It was the man that painted the lines. Shout out to him that painted the lines at the stadium. Yes, shout out to him. So I would say,
Hey, is George Thomas still alive?
He is still alive, but he is no longer the grounds crew.
He's got to be like 90. He's got to be like 90.
He still consults
old,
for the NFL.
So whoever the
All right,
ground-
Nick, what do you got?
I'm going to go with fact. Yeah, no, I loved it. I thought it was great. Now CBS and Fox and Amazon and Netflix they'll all do it too. But no, I think absolutely fact.
I thought that was Hense's camera zooming in like that.
What
do you say, Coach?
Fact too. I agree with Nick. Yeah.
So
facts.
NBC is going to have that
Love
impact.
I
I think at some
very
point
ingenious.
during the year there'll be some other play that might overtake
the edge
it.
of the foot, bro. That's crazy.
All right. So okay, so for these next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and these are going to be kind of rapid fire.
All right,
I had earlier in the week on another show, Pros Like Us,
Hello.
made predictions
Great show,
on
by the way.
different awards, individual awards.
Okay.
So I'll say who I picked. You guys go with factor cap, and if you have a candidate, please fill in the blank.
All right.
All right. So defensive player of the year, I picked Myles Garrett. Hence factor cap.
I would say cap. I'll say
who you got?
the defensive player of the year. He's going to get it. It's going to be Chris Jones.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Nick.
I'm with Hense on that one. I'm going to say Chris Jones. Definitely.
Coach.
I'm gonna say CJ.
Wow. I know TJ Watt or Micah Parsons or
CJ's unguardable, man.
okay.
Yeah, you see the
All
last-
right. Hey,
Yeah,
good.
he's unguardable, man.
I'd love to see it. All right. Offensive player of the year. I voted Bijan Robinson.
Ooh.
Factor cap.
I would say
Hence,
cap.
Sorry.
I would say cap. It would go offensive player of the year. And I said he's going to be the comeback player of the year. It's going to be – I'm not a Cardinals fan, but I got this feeling it's going to be, make a break year for him. So Kyler Murray.
Ooh,
All right. The Minion.
Dominion. I love it.
Dominion.
Lou, I'm going to agree with you. I think he's really special,
So
and they
Bijan.
underused him last year big time. And with a new quarterback, a veteran quarterback, I'm with you on that one. I think
I like him a lot.
He's probably a top 2 or 3 best running back in the NFL today.
What do you say, Coach?
Let's see. I'm gonna say Cap, and I'm gonna go with Marvin Harrison Jr. Man.
Of course. Offensive player of the year, not rookie. Offensive player of the year. Okay, so
Offensive player of the year.
speaking of rookies, offensive rookies of the year, I didn't want to overthink this. I went with the top guy, Caleb Williams. I think he's going to have a big year. Maybe not like MVP type of the league, but I think he'll be, in position to win the rookie of the year. Hence.
I'm going to stick to what I said earlier with the cube. I'm going Worthy. Worthy going to have the impact, and I'm going Worthy. Yes.
For those of you scoring at home, I did not have access to the cube. I'm using a pencil, an abacus, all the old school tools. So the cube says Worthy. Nick.
The X-Man is going to be rookie of the year.
Okay, here we go. Little Chiefs bias, I think, is coming on here.
No, I did that on my national. I do a national
I got
thing.
you.
And that's what I said.
I got the QB from the Commanders, Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
Oh,
all right. Interesting pick.
You pick them all.
All right. So defensive rookie of the year. I took the edge player Dallas Turner for the Minnesota Vikings, formerly the Crimson Tide. Hence, what you got?
Defensive player of the year.
Defensive rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year.
Defensive rookie of the year.
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a good question.
Hmm.
If he's healthy, I'll have to go with Robinson from the Cardinals. I'm not a Cardinals fan, but I'm a Mizzou fan.
So Darnell Robinson, defensive tackle from Missouri, local guy, right?
Yeah, from
Okay,
Mizzou.
let's go. Darius Robinson.
I'm going to cheat. I'm going to say
2.0.
That's a good question.
Now remember, there was 14 consecutive offensive players were taken in the draft, so the defensive players had to wait.
I'm going to go with Terry and Arnold, cornerback from Alabama.
Another roll tide, baby.
Yeah.
And he was to Detroit, correct?
He played for the Detroit Lions, who have an incredibly talented football team.
Their drafts have been amazing. I mean, he did Veach and go.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go Cap. I'm gonna say I was say Darius Robinson. That's my guy, but he's a little nicked up right now. But Latu from the Colts.
Yeah.
Latu.
He's a stud, man.
That makes sense.
Rhyming. Okay. Coach of the year, and this may be like the league saying we owe you one.
Yes.
But I believe Houston is really going to be that team this year. So I think because last year Kevin Stefanski got it, I thought D'Amico Ryans just did an amazing job last year. And there are human beings that vote for this thing, so it's almost like we owe you one. D'Amico Ryans for me. Who you got, Hense?
I'm going for one man only, and they're going to get only one coach that ever did it in NFL history to get 3 Super Bowls in a row. And that's going to be coach of the year is Andy Reid. So I'll go.
They won't give it to him. It's like Belichick. I don't think he.
You make a great point. I mean, I think just the fact that he went back to back in this era and style of football,
he deserves it.
He deserves it. And I think the league this year. This voting usually takes place in December, so it's not at the end of the year.
Right.
So it's before the season is finished. Count. If the Chiefs are winning the AFC West by a couple of games, they pretty much have the number 1 seed in hand. I think people are going to just say, you know what, they're going to get back. They only have to win 2 playoff games instead of 3. Andy week after a bye week, et cetera, et cetera. I think the league owes it to him. So I'm going to Andy Reid. It's a shame he hasn't gotten more. Now, Belichick, nobody likes him. Wow. They all respect him.
Well, that's my point.
But Andy's a good dude.
These guys that have like all the pelts on the wall, they typically don't get the award. Because
Big Red never been coach of the year.
Of course, he may have when he was younger with
Philadelphia. I think he did with the Eagles, and he may have been with the Chiefs.
It always seems like a younger guy gets it. What do you say, Coach?
Coach
to coach. Who's it going to be?
Man, shoot, man, underdog. Let's see, man. I want to go with Gannon. I do want to go with Gannon. I really do.
But
I'm going with Gannon. You're right. I can't pick. I can't because it's like Gannon. This is his opportunity to shine, right?
Wow, Andy won it in 2002 with the Eagles after they were back to back. After he inherited a 3-13 team.
It's and again he was one of the when he got hired I think he was in his early 30s, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
He wasn't he was one of these younger guys. I think around that time Gruden when the Raiders hired him, I think he was probably like 31 or 32. I mean he was a really young guy back then.
So Luke, would you say they have to if you win the Super Bowl, should that coach automatically be coach of the year?
No. You would think they give him more consideration, but they, like Nick said, it's like a regular season award, right? So they really don't take playoffs into account, and typically it's somebody that turns the program around.
Right.
That's why I thought D'Amico Ryans would win last year. Stefanski did it. I mean, Joe Flacco got him to the playoffs. All right, so I can't fault that, but. Yeah, I just feel like D'Amico Ryans is him this year. But yeah, to your point, Hense, I agree with you. Somebody that wins something big should get it, but it doesn't fall that way.
Right.
And the last one, of course, is MVP. And I did not overthink this one. I just think that with all the new weapons and where I think this thing is going, I think Patrick's going to jump on it for the 3rd time.
Yeah, I go with Patrick Mahomes. MVP.
Me too.
Kyler Murray.
There we go, folks. That's going to do it for this week.
Nice.
Factor Cap. Keep track. If those of you are scoring at home, just write all these down, lay your bets down, and hopefully you make a few bucks here and there.
Excellent.
So that was Factor Cap. You know what I mean? That was our last segment of the day.
Did Kareem say Dak Prescott? Did he say Dak?
Dak, yes.
Dak.
Hell no. Kareem. Hell no.
Dak.
You got Dak Prescott.
Kareem, what is your fascination with Dak Prescott? I gotta know.
Yeah, I don't know that shit. Hell, he ain't my top 5.
He's
You never know, man. You never know.
He's a regular season. He puts up the numbers, man.
He puts, except them damn playoffs.
So guys, before we close out, what is y'all? You're gonna watch the game today. It's gonna be a home game for the Eagles in Brazil. We went over their picks. Do you see Jordan Love taking that big leap in his third?
Hell yeah. Oh
yeah. I got him as the NFC champion. So does Peter Schrager.
He took the leap, I think, last year. Let's just see now if he can kind of carry on.
Beating the Chiefs was big for him.
It was.
Right. You win a game that it doesn't look like you should win, right? I mean, it was at home. You got to give him that, but it's a perennial playoff team. It's Patrick Mahomes, national TV. Let's go. And he got it done. But that game in Dallas, I think, pretty much cemented the fact that we got Green Bay says we got our next guy, and it's maybe going to be 45 years in a row. We've got
Rodgers, Love.
We have
good company.
Guy.
That's good company. Favre, Rodgers, Love.
Before we close out, do we have a statement to make from our Wednesday show, just to maybe clarify a point or two?
I don't know which topic we're talking about here.
We were having a little fun with the audience, and evidently some of the hosts too. That we announced that Kadarius Toney was signing with the Buffalo Bills, and it seemed like out of left field, but hey, this is pretty cool. And of course, at the end of the day, it was kind of a April Fools in September. So
September.
I'm sure you all know.
I was the sucker who took it.
Kadarius did not sign the Bills.
But do y'all really think Kadarius Toney was going to do something with the Buffalo Bills anyway?
It was a joke. It was a joke. Me and my guy Mango came up with.
You got us. You got
us good because I was like,
y'all was so convinced. Y'all was so convinced it was funny. It was funny as hell. Y'all was so convinced.
Yeah.
And Lou was like, "This is the most." Breaking news, the most impact ever.
Yeah,
I was laughing on inside, but guys,
he was the star of the show for most of the summer.
For him to go,
I knew I could get it in, guys. I knew I could.
You win.
Much love.
But again, guys,
and Hense does this to me all the time. He'll call me up and tell me, "Did you know so and so just got traded? The Chiefs just signed this guy," and he does it so well. This is the best. I mean, this is the best straight man for a gag I've ever seen in my entire life.
Trust me, Hense, I know, don't you? You know, I know, don't I? Yeah, I know, huh? He would keep a straight face too. He'll keep a straight face, bro.
He's had me multiple times. I mean, he'll go on for a couple of minutes.
He's the master of the cube. Of course, you need to believe him. But at some point, it's going to be the little boy who cried wolf.
That boy will sell you a dream. He'll sell you a dream, man. He'll sell you a dream, bro.
I forgot to say, hey, it was a joke at the end, guys. But hey, Peter, what's his name? Jordan.
Jordan Schultz.
He didn't put that out there. There was art, Mango editing skills, to make it look real as possible. He made that bug look real as possible. Shout out to Mango. But again, man, hey, great show, man. I can't wait to see what they do against these Bengals. If Joe Burrow comes back,
Hey.
I got one more thing. I want to address. Yesterday, the long pass to Travis Kelce from Patrick Mahomes put Patrick Mahomes atop.
Lynn Dawson, I had that in
the most. You have that?
Yes.
All right. So he became the most. He has the most yards in Kansas City Chiefs history, surpassing my idol, Lenny Dawson, who I will always view as the best quarterback in Chiefs history. But that's just me. No disrespect to Patrick, but my heart belongs with Lenny. It's remarkable. I mean, I think, they got to know each other, when Lenny was still able to communicate and to talk football and tell stories, which I think was terrific. And he's a lot of respect for him. And I thought Patrick's comment about having that ball, putting it at the top of his mantle in his house was the ultimate respect for arguably the face of the franchise. And the face of the 50 years between Super Bowls was Lenny Dawson. And so many times he would say, Nick, I don't want to keep talking about this team. I want another Super Bowl. I want someone else to do it. And
Yeah.
Fortunately, Patrick Mahomes did it. And when Lenny passed, Patrick had that sweatshirt that I would love to have, love to find. I don't know if they're sold anywhere. I don't care if it's for charity. I would certainly love to have it. But, major props to Patrick Mahomes for surpassing my childhood hero, Mr. Lenny the Cool Dawson. And we've been fortunate for Lou and I being as old as we are to appreciate both those guys.
Absolutely.
In the same lifespan.
Yeah.
And
it just goes to show you also that statistics aren't everything. It's a different, obviously it's a different league. It's a passing league. Patrick, I think he did in half as many games.
Yeah.
But, as far as a clutch, big game quarterback at that time, it didn't get much better than Len.
No, he was best. I'll never forget the run to the Super Bowl. They go into Jets and they play, they're playing Joe Namath and the New York Jets on the road at Old Shea Stadium. And then they go to Oakland, who just thumped them earlier in the year.
Also on the dirt.
On the dirt. And the Raiders had their bags packed for New Orleans. They were already loaded on the bus to go to the airport after the game. And
so
obviously
instead they went to Cancun.
They went to Cancun and the Chiefs passed them and they were all unloading their bus to put their suitcases back in their cars in Oakland, Alameda County Stadium. But much props to him. And John Harrison makes a great point. You guys see that Alex Smith congratulating Mahomes. I thought that was great too. Yeah, Alex Smith is is a Chiefs treasure. And that was a great video as well.
And a great shout out to Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce to break the yards record with them two passes. He passed it to his person that helped him get his 3 Super Bowls. So
Mr. Reliable.
It was all fitting.
Mr. I need you. That's basically what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know who Lenny's last pass was, but I hope it was to the late great Otis Taylor, who better be in the Hall of Fame this year. I'm going up to Canton, and
that's right. Let him have it, Nick.
I'm gonna let him have it.
So with that said, guys, we'll be back Monday at 1:30.
Yeah, 1:30 is going to be our new showtime. That way we can make sure we get you the latest press conference information from the Chiefs. Wow. It's a good fit for everybody. So just mark this on your calendar. We'll be going 1:30 Central Time going forward, and we appreciate everybody. And again, the Chiefs win. They're 1-0.
We win.
The Cincinnati Bengals are coming up next.
Bengals week.
JB week.
Officially, in Andre's mind, Bengals week.
That's right. JB week. Let's get it.
Right.
Back
out, Joker.